Hi everyone. Sorry, I'm running a bit late this afternoon or this evening. I got distracted making the lunches. My name is Kelley Farley. I'm an independent Stampin' demonstrator in Karaka, Auckland, and I'm out of the habit of doing my lives, so please excuse my tardiness. I do hope that people will join us soon, and I'm just going to pop it up so I can see when people pop in. Alright, so we're going to make this double concertina card. So when it stands up, you can see that it lines up like that, and then if it was to sit up, it would look like this. Alright, so you can see that it's all fits into an envelope, except if you push the leaves over too far. On the back is space for you to write if you want to, and then there's a nice little bridge there which is kind of hidden because it's window sheet, but you could use card if you wanted to, but it gives you kind of that tunnel effect in there as well, which is quite nice and a great way of showing off our designer series paper, which we all know that we have stacks and stacks of. So I got this off a lady on Pinterest, and she actually made it as a 5x7 card, so I've adapted it so that it fits into a standard size card. So I'm just going to pop that there. What we're going to use is no worries at all, Andrea. I was running late, so it's all good. So this paper here is also from the same, I can't remember the name of it, it's in the annual catalogue. It's the gorgeous blue paper that goes with the Country Inn, and that might be what it's called actually, Country Inn. So the mistake I made when I cut this one is I didn't look at the direction of the paper, so the birds are kind of going a little bit sideways. Hopefully not as noticeable because it's on the inside, but this one, I want this paper on the outside and this on the, this will be what you see. So what we're going to do is we've got two pieces. They are 5 3/4 inches tall, and they are 10 inches long. Okay, so you need two pieces that size. What I want to do is, that looks like it's that way, and that looks like it's that way. So what we're going to do is we want one piece to have the concertina this way. I'm just trying to figure out, yeah, that way, and then one piece will go this way. So I'm going to score it at this end on that one, and I'm going to score on this end at this one. Alright, so we're going to pop our cutting blade away. Once you've worked out, if your paper is not directional, it doesn't matter, and realistically this one isn't going to matter up, you know, because there are flowers kind of weaving and leaves weaving all over it, so it's not going to matter too much. But what we're going to do is we're going to pop it in, and we're going to come down to 1 inch across the so you're scoring the height of the card. Alright, so 1, 2, 4, and just do be careful with the with pressing too hard with, and then 6 with your scoring blade, because your cardstock can rip quite easily. Alright, and then I want to do the same on this one, so I'm going to turn it this way. So again, thank you, Andrea, for popping up a card from last week. I'm sure everyone is like me and not quite in the habit of crafting or challenges again, like we got into quite a good swing last year. So you're going to end up with two pieces. One is scored on the right hand side, and one, the score marks are on the, I don't know if it's easier on the darker side to see it or not. So I want this piece to be my inside. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start from the left hand side. We've got the wider piece here, which is 4 inches. I'm going to bring that score line into itself. Crazy busy. It's good, it's really good, but crazy busy. So I kind of, that's one of the reasons that I'm not really onto it with getting this stuff ready for you guys, because I spend a lot of time on my laptop. But hopefully that's just, it's always crazy busy at the beginning of the year, so hopefully that'll slow down a bit once I get a grip on what I need to do, which is ever changing, but yeah, that's really good. So then we've got left hand side, first score line is a valley fold, so it's a downwards fold. The next one is a mountain fold, so it's over, and then we're going to do a valley fold. I can find the score line on that. There we go. Trying not to press too hard also means that sometimes if you've got darker cardstock or designer series paper, it's a little bit harder to see. Now the card that I saw actually was, she used card as the base and then cut these pieces and put them on the panels to decorate it, and I thought, why would I do that when I can just use some designer series paper and have, you know, if it's too busy for you, then I would suggest that you did. Okay, so this one, we've got our wide 4-inch panel on the right hand side, and we're going to fold that first score line over as a valley again, and then we're going to fold back on itself to make a mountain, and then another valley again. That one's not sort of, and then back again. Alright, so you'll end up with two panels that look like that. Okay, can you see that? Have I put them in the camera? So you've got two pieces like that. This is where you can decide if you want to keep this pattern as the pattern that you want to see, or you can flip it over and then you just change it up. I've gone, I mean, if you want to, like, I've gone with that on the inside because it's just, like, you know, there's far more detail to it. It also means that you don't have to decorate it too much. So that, one of those is going to slip on top of the other one, alright? And then they should meet nicely in the middle. So it's kind of like a gate fold once you've put the back pieces together. So let's glue those down together. So put that on. I'm just going to slide that in, and I'm actually going to grab my trimmer, because this is a really great way of lining everything up. So just making sure everything is all nice and flat and lined up. So you can flip it over and double check there. So then you've got your two pieces. No problem at all, Maureen. Thank you for watching. I think most people watch and don't do. So, so that's our concertina there. Alright, so what we're going to do now is, I've got a piece of, I've actually pre-cut most of my bits to decorate it. So what we've got is a piece of window sheet. Now I don't know how well you can see that. A piece of window sheet, and I've just cut it across the same, oh, I haven't glued that down very well. It's not sticking. The nice thing too about using the design series paper is it actually isn't really obvious where the join is in the back. You're not going to really see it, and you won't see it so much on the rear of the card either, but it's not as noticeable. So what I like to do is I've put my two smaller flaps out, because I'm going to have my window sheet attached to that third panel from the middle, or the second one in. So this piece here you can have as big or as small as you want. Sorry, let me put that on there so you can see it. I've cut it at 4 inches wide. Alright, and it actually just is the depth of the piece, which is quite square, so it looks like it might be 4 inches square, but it depends on how high. You might just want to have a panel through the middle and have it loose. Let's try that. So if I've got this at 4, let's go 2.5, just to give our flowers something to grab hold of. You've got that little bit left over. You could put that in the back as well. Alright, now you're not going to necessarily see this when it's stuck down, so it's going to go here and it's going to go here. Alright, what I'm going to do, I used glue dots, but let's give some double-sided tape a go. How's your hand, Maureen? Have you had your scan yet? I suppose you probably can't type very well. When you said that, I forgot about your wrist for a minute. I was just like, yeah, most people just watch. That's all good. Okay, so just a couple of bits. When I use glue dots, I put 3, one on each corner and one in the middle on each side. But with the tape, I'm just going to run it all the way up and down. Last week's spray has said can do 1 hour, sling off a double. Well, that is improvement. I'm pleased to hear that. As long as it doesn't cause more damage. And that must mean that your shoulder is good too, which is really pleasing news. I'm just going to do one at a time. Okay, so I'm going to stick this here. Now this one I actually stuck onto, I did it facing up, so it went onto here. I'm actually going to face it down. Alright, so this bit there, so these 2 smaller flaps will, and I'm going to pop it up towards the middle, will still open up a bit more than what they do on that one. So then if I close that, make sure that's not too far, it is. Let me just get my scissors and measure it that way. That was a mistake, so let me cut that off. Put some more tape on it. So just check your, mine was slightly too wide, so when it folded it wouldn't fold very well, so I've taken it off. So you're putting it on, I'm putting it on the back side. This one here I put it on the front side, so it came in it's stuck onto here, whereas I'm doing it the reverse way today. Sorry, let me, that's not folding over very nicely. Okay, so that there, and then we're just going to press down here. So then, that might not work very well. It doesn't open as wide with the tunnel, the same. Let's see. Nope. Okay. We'll just leave it. You've got a what to do and a not what to do. So then that's just holding it in place. Alright. It's going to look like that. This one is attached to the top of this part here, so that keeps it closed a little bit more and is a little bit more forward. Depends what look you want, really. Or you could do but 2. So I've put that one on there, and then I might put one a little bit further up onto that one. I don't know if that'll work actually. No, they're too close together. Should have thought about that. But that's okay, because my flowers are going to go here. And I've used the Cheerful Daisy. And I've pre-cut my pieces, but I've decided that I'm going to put it together with you. So I'm just making another one exactly the same as that, and it's going to go on here. So starting with if you haven't got the Cheerful Daisy set, you can use these pieces as individuals and the stamps line up to these, or you can use them in the 2 or 3 different layers. So these are like this. Your white layer goes behind and it gives a little bit of a outline, and then I've chosen to go with the darker layer, and then that just kind of gives that 3-tone look. So I'm going to start by putting on the white layer. I'm just going to use some glue. You don't need a huge amount because we don't want it oozing out everywhere. I might just put it over everywhere while I'm here. I have chosen not to do the leaves because whoops, where is it? That one. That one. So just have a play with it before you put your glue on, so you've got an idea of which way it goes. Alright, so then that's this large one. I've just got glue on my fingers. The smaller one, the middle size one. Oh yeah, left-handed typing. And it'll take so long. Oh, you've done really well to get this long without being too frustrated. It'll just make it easier to do work too. Not that, you know. And then that onto there. Like so. Whoops. You just want to make sure that you've got a nice even mat around it. And then on these ones, oh, here's hoping for Stamp Club you might be able to not drive, but at least you might be able to do some crafting in a couple of weeks' time. It should be rested by then. Okay, so if you look at these smaller ones here, and then you've got longer ones here, they line up with the shape of your petals here. Alright. And then we've got our medium sized one. And again, just lining up with what's on there. Oops, it's not very well lined up there. Yeah. And then our last accent piece. Onto there. Right, so while that's just sitting to rest and maybe finish, get it set properly, I'm going to use a couple of You Made My Day. That's a nice one. Is it going to fit in there? Ooh. Oh yeah, it's going to fit in there just. So that will be, I'm going to punch it first. Normally I would stamp first, but I'm going to punch first so that I can make sure that when I've got it on my block it's lined up. This is the new modern oval punch, which matches one of the new stamp sets. I think next week I might just use one of the new stamp sets, and that's in the mini catalogue, so that and create something with that. Just, and I know that you probably won't have it, but you could probably use a similar format to what I've got. We're getting a bit low on fancy fold cards, ladies. We're pretty close to most of the ones that I've seen. You would be repeating them. Not that that's a bad thing, but you might get a bit bored. Okay, so if I have this there, I'll line this up at the top here so I know my circle's straight. my oval, sorry. I'm using boho glue, and I'm going to pop that straight in the middle, and then in the daisy set there's these cute little flowers, and I'm just going to stamp off and stamp on just to decorate around the edge. All of that was in your view. Alright, so next one, I want some dimensionals for the back of my flowers, and I'm going to put them in the centre here so that they aren't, there's nothing in the way too much when I put them on. So if I put that on there, okay, let's do that. I think my first option was a better option. That's right, that's what it's all about. It's about finding new and interesting ways of doing things. And I'm just going to put a couple of these right at the top. And I'm putting 3 on just so that it's nice and secure, because it's only hanging from the top. And I don't want it to get knocked off. And then I'm going to pop this with a little bit of the window sheet there. So you can close that like that, and then when you open it, it opens up. And I don't know how well you can see that from there. But so you've got these ones that are a little bit more open, and then these ones that are a bit more closed off. So it's up to you really which one you prefer. Yeah. So Andrea, you were the only one that put up a card from last week, so thank you very much for doing that. I will send you a little prize. I think I've got some prizes here that I owe some people. Oh, do I owe you 2 prizes, Andrea? I thought I was all up to date with you. But from last year I've got a post-it note here that says Andrea 2, Karen 3, Jill 1 and Sally 1. Sorry about that, ladies. It just got away from me. Oh, the back. How are you going to write on it, you say? We're going to put a piece of white on the back here. And you'll be able to write on there. If you're writing it and you've put lots of detail on the front there, you might want to write on it before you stick it down, otherwise it might get a bit bumpy. But otherwise, that is our card. So 2 pieces at 5 3/4 by quietly, yes, 5 3/4 by 10. Score at 1, 2, 4 and 6 on 1 on each end. Stick the 2 pieces together that are the 4-inch wide pieces, and then decorate. So I've used a piece of window sheet, which is the width of that. You could put it in the front too, so I'd probably have it a little bit wider if it was in the front, so that well, actually you probably wouldn't want to. You'd probably want to close it though when you put it together, so still 4 inches wide, and then attach it to the front here, and then that would keep it as well. Okay, alright, thank you very much for joining me. I hope that you have a lovely week. We are going to stick to 1 night a week at the moment. Sorry, I'm still finding my feet with my new job. So please do join me next Sunday at 7:30, and we'll have another card for you to have a look at and maybe have a go at. Alright, thank you very much for joining me tonight. Bye for now.